friend, it's Gregor here. Today's video is about 11 ways to play the G major 7th chord on guitar. The G major 7th chord consists of 4 notes. You got your root note, which is your G. You got a major 3rd, which is your B. Then you got a perfect 5th, which is the D. And a major 7th, which in this case is the F sharp. Good, let's start with the first chord shape, and the first one is a beautiful one because it's an open chord shape. So, many open strings. It's relatively easy because you just need to play the G on your low E string on the 3rd fret with your middle finger and the F sharp on the high E string with your index finger. So, here you got G, the A string is muted, you are slightly touching it with your middle finger, and you got your open D string, your open G string, your open B string, and your F sharp. Good, let's move on. The second chord shape is this one here. Here you got your index finger on the 3rd fret on your low E string, that's your G. Your ring finger is on the F sharp, 4th fret D string. Your pinky finger is on the 4th fret on your G string, that's your B. And your middle finger is playing the 3rd fret on your B string, and that's your D. So you got G, F sharp, B, and D. Good, let's move on. The next chord shape consists only of 4 notes, so you are playing the index finger on the 3rd fret on your low E string, that's your G. You are playing your D with your pinky finger on the 5th fret on your A string. And you are playing your F sharp with your middle finger on the 4th fret on your D string. And you are playing your B with your ring finger on the 3rd fret on your G string. So it's G, it's D, it's F sharp, and it's B. The B string and the high E string should be muted with your index finger so you can slightly touch them. So you are touching them with this area of your index finger, or simply avoid to play them. Good, let's move on. The next chord shape looks like this. The low E string and the A string are muted. You can put your thumb around the neck like this and touching the E string and the A string, and then you're good. And now drop your pinky finger on the 5th fret on your D string, that's your G. Drop your ring finger on the 4th fret on your G string, that's your B. And drop your middle finger on the 3rd fret on your B string, that's your D. And drop your index finger on the 2nd fret on your high E string, and that's your F sharp. So it's G, it's B, it's D, and it's F sharp. The next chord shape looks like this. Here you are using your index finger on the 5th fret on your D string, that's your G. And now you are playing a little bar across the 7th fret on your G string, on your B string, and your high E string. It's easier this way to use the pinky finger if you want to mute the low E string and the A string with your thumb around the neck like this. If you don't want to mute the lower strings with your thumb, then you can use your ring finger for this. So you got your G, D, F sharp, and B. Good, let's move on. The next one. Here you got your middle finger on the 7th fret on your low E string, that's your B. And now you got your G on the 5th fret on your D string, that's your G. Now drop the ring finger on the 7th fret on your G string, that's your D. And last, use your pinky finger for the 7th fret on your B string, that's your F sharp. So it's B, it's G, it's D, and it's F sharp. Good, the next chord shape looks like this. Here you are using your pinky finger on the 10th fret on your A string, that's your G. Now drop your ring finger and fret the 9th fret on your D string, that's your B. Now use your index finger to play a little bar across the 7th fret on your G string, on your B string, and optionally the high E string as well. So with your index finger, that's your D, that's your F sharp, and on the high E string is the B. So again, you can use a little bar across 2 strings or an extended one across 3 strings. That's up to you. And as for the low E string, it should be muted or just don't play it. Good, the next chord shape looks like this. Here you are using your middle finger on the 10th fret on your A string, that's your G. Your index finger is on the 9th fret on your D string, that's your B. Your pinky finger is on the 11th fret on your G string and it's playing the F sharp. Your ring finger is on the 10th fret on your high E string and it's playing the D. Good. The B string should be muted. You can just touch it with your pinky finger while simultaneously fretting the 11th fret on your G string. So, pinky finger is playing the F sharp on the G string and is muting the B string. Good. The low E string should be muted as well. Put your thumb around the neck like this and simply touch the low E string. So you got G, B, F sharp and D. Good, let's move on. This is the next chord shape. Here you got your index finger on the 10th fret on your A string. That's your G. Now you got your ring finger on the 12th fret on your D string. That's your D. Your middle finger is on the 11th fret on your G string. That's the F sharp. And the pinky finger is on the 12th fret on your B string. That's your B. And here you can alternatively use an entire bar across 5 strings from the A string up to the high E string. This way you can fret the C on the high E string as well, but you don't need to do this. If you don't want to play a bar, then just slightly touch the high E string and it's muted and then you're good to go. Good, the next chord shape looks like this. Here you got your middle finger on the 14th fret on your A string, that's your B. Your index finger is on the 12th fret on your G string, that's your G. Your pinky finger is on the 15th fret on your B string, that's your D. And your ring finger is on the 14th fret on your high E string and it's an F sharp. So you got B, G, D, F sharp. Good, and the last chord shape looks like this. It's a little stretchy because you need to stretch between the ring finger and the middle finger, so you got a fret in between. Your pinky finger is on the 15th fret on your low E string, that's your G. Your ring finger is on the 14th fret on your A string, that's your B. And now you need to stretch and play the 12th fret on your D string with your middle finger, that's your D. And your index finger is playing the F sharp on the G string on the 11th fret. So you got G, B, D and F sharp. And as for the higher strings, the B string and the high E string are muted, so just touch them. That should be relatively easy because you're touching them either with this part of your hand or with this one here. Good, we're done. I really hope that you liked this lesson. If that's the case, hit the like button, consider to subscribe, and if you got any questions, post them in the comments down below. Until then, have fun and stay tuned.